I would love to take just a few minutes to talk to you about some of the things that make Young Living unique and why I've chosen to partner with them for the health and wellness needs of our family. Essential oils have been around since the biblical times, if not even longer. But over the past 5 or 10 years, we can see in more and more stores, essential oils are being marketed and becoming available in all kinds of retailers. Unfortunately, the terms 100% pure or therapeutic are not regulated, and they can be easily misused when it comes to labeling essential oils, and there's some sneaky marketing out there that you should know about. First things first, always read the ingredient label on the bottle. If it lists something like olive oil or vegetable oil as part of it, what you're holding is not a bottle of pure essential oil only. It's been blended or diluted. That may be intentional, but that may be a marketing tactic. So just make sure you're reading the fine print. Next, let's use our common sense here for a minute. If an essential oil is available at a cheap price, it had to have been produced cheaply. Maybe that's because the oil came from low-quality plants. Maybe it's blended with something else. Maybe those plants they used had pesticides sprayed all over them for weed control in the fields. Frankly, that's not something that I want to diffuse in my home or put on my body or my children. Young Living's slogan, however, is Seed to Seal, and that is a quality commitment that they make to their employees, their distributors, and their customers. Ultimately, Young Living's biggest picture is not their financial bottom line. They have a mission to make the world a better place by sharing the benefits of pure essential oils. I've been a part of this company for over 4 years, and they continue to surprise and delight me with their generosity, their customer service, and their responsibility. Young Living oils are only sourced from their corporate-owned farms, their partner farms, or their verified seed-to-seal suppliers. One question that a lot of people ask sometimes is, are Young Living oils organic? And the answer is, Young Living standards actually go beyond organic. To have a USDA organic label on a food or a product, you're confined to the use of specific approved fertilizers and pesticides under that regulation from the Department of Agriculture. One of my favorite things about Young Living is that rather than traditional or even organic fertilizers and pesticides, they use safe but non-conventional pest control and soil management practices. They hand weed most of their plants. They also use essential oils for weed or pest control. Another example is that they use sheep in their lavender fields. The sheep like to eat the weeds and other plants that grow on the lavender, but they don't like lavender, so they leave it alone. They also poop out some excellent fertilizer for the plants. So as you can see, one of the big differences in Young Living's quality of their products starts in their fields where their plants are grown. Did you know that anybody can schedule a visit to one of Young Living's farms or distilleries? This is the only essential oil company, and really big company in general, that I know about that extends that level of transparency and opportunity. Young Living uses global third-party experts to validate that their standards are being upheld. This ensures that inferior or unethically sourced ingredients don't ever find their way to your door as a customer or a distributor. If their tests show that a product doesn't meet the appropriate standards, it won't come to you. Young Living has some really amazing labs and research institutes. We talked a couple minutes ago about some of the ways essential oils can be produced inexpensively. One of these is if people are using unethical farming practices, whether in how they treat plants or how they treat people. Young Living produces their products ethically, which also means they pay ethical wages to their laborers and employees. And frankly, that means they're not going to be the cheapest available. But when we buy our essential oils, our personal care products, and our household supplies from Young Living, we are making an intentional choice, and we have the opportunity to support ethical business practices by voting with our wallet. Young Living is committed to the welfare of people and our planet. They have a variety of policies, global compliance programs, and charitable foundations that do this. I have continually seen them go above and beyond to care generously for others. The last thing I'd like to share with you is a little story that made Young Living stand out to me even further. One of the places I enjoy going in northern Michigan is a lavender farm. The closest Young Living farm to me is in Utah, and that's not exactly a weekend trip for me. Last summer, when our family was in northern Michigan, we visited a lavender farm that I have enjoyed going to in the past. I noticed in their gift shop they had bottles of essential oil for sale. So I asked, wow, do you distill your own oil from the plants here? How do you do that? That's amazing. The owner told me that their farm does not make enough lavender to bottle and distill it. So they mix what they get from their farm with something they got online, but they couldn't tell me where it came from or how it had been produced. Guys, I was so disappointed. I loved going to their farm, but if I hadn't known the questions to ask about that, I would have been totally duped. I totally would have thought what was in that bottle with their label on it came from the farm I was standing at. I want to contrast this with family friends we have who have a vegetable farm on their property and run a community shared agriculture or a CSA. This family used to live in my neighborhood before they bought this farm. I know them personally. I know that when they looked at their property, they did soil testing before they even bought it because they knew they wanted to grow food for their family and for others there. And now, during the summer, I am so blessed to get vegetables from them. I can visit their farm. I can see with my own eyes that they hand weed, they don't use pesticides or herbicides, and I trust them, and I know that they feed the food they're growing to their own children. That's the type of business that I want to support. You may or may not have seen there was a BuzzFeed news article a couple years ago circulating online in which somebody contacted 16 different essential oil companies and asked about the farms that their oils and plants were produced on. Spoiler, Young Living is the only company that lets anybody tour their farms or distilleries. Some companies' representatives had no idea where the plants that their oils came from were. Well, you can't make claims that your product is pure or therapeutic or best if you don't even know how your plants were grown. In closing, here are the 3 biggest reasons that I use and share about Young Living. The first is the now hundreds of personal experiences that my family and I have had using their products. The second reason is the transparency that I've shared about. And the third reason is Young Living's generosity as a company. Their rewards programs are freaking fantastic. They are better than anything I've ever seen anywhere else. Do you get up to 25% back from your credit card or at Costco or Target? Because I don't. But with each new announcement or promotion from Young Living, I have seen them become more and more and more generous. They've recently lowered the prices of some really valuable products during a pandemic. I have seen them extend the hours of their customer service when they're running contests. I have constantly seen them try to give things away for free to their loyal customers. They have proven to me that they have priorities bigger than their bottom line, and I am here for it. I've gotten to try so many things for free just because I shop from them instead of at a big box store. I'm not talking just oils. Most of the things our family gets from Young Living is our household staples. Stuff like dish soap, deodorant, toothpaste, cleaners, toiletries. They have something for every aspect of our lifestyle. Their products are safe, they're non-toxic, and they help our bodies thrive in the way they're supposed to. I cannot wait for you to be surprised and delighted through your Young Living experience. Let's continue on so that you can learn a little bit more about how to promote your health through using these amazing essential oils.